Hey, Eva. How you doing?
Hey, bye.
Guys, how are yous?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad at all.
Awesome. Hey, no, bye. Hey, Anna. How you doing?
Hey. Hi, guys.
I'm Claire.
Hello.
Cool. So I was running a little late. I was just hopping up another call. Cool. Awesome. Anyone have any initial questions? Just jumping in.
So I have a question on um, if I turn off an old campaign that was doing really well and it just kind of ran out, is there any point I can reuse that ad copy? Like
Definitely.
several, like how long or several months or several weeks or how does that work?
Yeah.
Especially
So
with new creative too. Yeah.
exactly. I was just gonna say that. Yes. Yeah, we've seen that work a lot where we take previous old ad copy, better creatives, and it definitely still performs.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, you could even what we've also done too is taken previous ad copy, and especially if it was like 7 months before, you kind of just see what works better and better as you keep going. And you could even tweak it a little bit too, and like add a little bit more to the middle portion or the a different hook, things like that, just to give it a better chance to perform.
So you just launched that with all new content and then okay. Yeah, because I'm like, wait, that ad copy is really good. I don't want to have to like not use it ever again.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely use it. Yeah, great question. Cool. Anyone else have any other questions? Go through any ads, anything like that? Nothing here. It's got to be some questions.
Be doing the hook and the scene and everything. Have you ever seen any other type of ad copy work?
Yeah, so when you have like a special edition bundle, typically you can have pretty simple copy just to get them to the page, or not only just a special edition bundle, but like a special edition book. Usually you could do something shorter to get them to the page and then sell them on the page. We've also seen in some cases when the offer is good enough and the page is good enough, just having one line of just a piece of like a really strong piece of dialogue that like a lot of readers will highlight in Amazon too. So we tried that out.
Yep.
But the landing page does have to be pretty optimized, because if they're clicking without knowing as much of where they're going, it's just likely that you're going to get more clicks, but not as many people would convert.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's typically why we have like a little bit longer ad copy, and then even eventually testing out really long ad copy, like 1,000 words, or maybe not even 1,000. You can eventually get there, but getting up to like that 500 word mark where it's pretty long. Once you really dialed in your audience, because just the more that they're reading, the more it's just convincing themselves as they're going. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, and there's some cases too, if the video is a lot longer, then maybe more simple ad copy is going to work, just because you don't want to confuse the reader too much, and vice versa as well. If the video is a lot shorter, then the ad copy can be a lot longer and more like explaining the scene in a sense.
All right. No worries. Thanks.
Yeah, Marie, you have a question?
Yeah, because you spoke about special editions. So far, and this is only I'm on my second, I've been doing Kickstarters to launch special editions and then moving them to the store. So, like I said, it happened once. I'm doing my second one, and I had one planned for the pen name we're running ads for. And I was wondering, since we are sending ads to that page, would it be better to offer it? Because the series we're running a bundle for is the only series I have. So I've got nothing for them once they've purchased that, for now anyway, because that pen name sort of died and we are reviving it. I was wondering if it would be worth launching it directly, and then people would just sort of stumble upon it instead of launching it through Kickstarter, because the number of Kickstarters I have planned would have put that one into January. Whereas now, if we're sending ads, I might as well strike while the iron is hot, so to speak. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah. How did the Kickstarters usually do?
Well, I've only run the one, and
Mhm.
it was a print on demand, and it was a clean YA fantasy. So
Mhm.
look wise, the book did well for that genre. People just bought the books because they're pretty, because that's pretty much what they do. I don't think they'll even read them, but that's fine. They bought it. I'm happy. And so when the one I have now, I started yesterday, and I already have like about $1,000 of pledges. So I'm expecting maybe 4,000. So to me, that's a lot. I don't do this. I don't make that a month in sales usually.
Mhm.
And it does include shipping and whatnot. And like Steamy Romance does better, like it does in regular sales. So I was wondering, I had put hers scheduling later. But if I just offer it as a special edition, that might interest some
Mhm.
either repeat buyers or people, because these are not the same people. It's not the same, like what the ads are targeting are not these people.
Mhm.
We're targeting ebook readers, and then the special editions are book buyers.
Mhm.
Those are the ones that are on TikTok, but I've just started the TikTok account again yesterday. And Ella has me doing just like organic content for now to see how it goes.
Mhm.
But again, I've got paperbacks for them for that series, but they get excited about. So if we start running ads on TikTok, then that's where I would send them. I would send them to the special edition
On the Kickstarter, you're saying on your store?
on the store.
On the store, yeah.
If I just forgot the whole idea of doing a Kickstarter and then went directly, because special editions work very well on Book Talk.
Mhm.
And so if we ran ads, because we can't run ads to the bundle on TikTok, right? It has to be a physical product, and the special edition would be a better hook for those
Mhm.
fishes than just the paperbacks, I think.
Yeah.
Do you understand
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And
Bait,
you said
reader
you
bait.
did about like 4,000 with that last Kickstarter?
No, the one for the YA, I did about 2,000
2,000. Okay.
with no
So
following.
with no following. Okay. And how do you think that this one would compare if you
I
did a Kickstarter?
I think at least 5,000, because Steamy Romance does better on Book Talk,
Mhm.
and Pretty Books do really well on TikTok. So if I can make it pretty enough to entice them, then I could probably do more.
Mhm.
But regardless of where, I would do it. But if we run ads now, then I have something for them more than just the paperbacks. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing with because running TikTok ads right now, I mean TikTok ads are pretty tough
Okay.
overall. Um the way that I would do that, because since we are still optimizing towards the ebook and audiobook, and we're trying to optimize around that one product, what you could do is launch a separate campaign, like a retargeting campaign, and at a very, very minimal budget and sell those. The thing is, it would be more of a long-term campaign rather than that like quick cash like the Kickstarter would be. And so you could maybe do a combination of the both and doing that Kickstarter to bring people in from that side, and then still retarget people with the ad once that Kickstarter is done and you're still selling them over there. Because are you still going to sell them after that Kickstarter, correct?
Yes, they don't. We don't put them in stores,
Mhm.
so they get excited because it's an exclusive
Mhm.
or premiere, and then we sell them on the store
I would
after.
I would do the Kickstarter then
Okay,
first, and
but I
then
can't do it until like February.
okay. So I mean, in that, are you able to run ads to the product and then do the Kickstarter afterwards?
Maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, then I would do the retargeting campaign if you can't run that until February and just get people onto your site and just keep that between, 5 to 10% of your budget per day and pushing them onto your site there with like video ads, image ads of the actual special editions.
As a pre-order kind of thing.
Yeah, as a pre-order.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then Ella and I can discuss the
Yeah.
details when
Yeah.
we get to there. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
I can ask that question about the linking thing. So I set up my store before I found out about you. So obviously I didn't do it right. So I have like about 200 products across ebook, paperback, and they're not linked and they're not added as variants because I couldn't do it. All of my paperbacks are linked with Book Vault for automatic. And so the only way from the course that I understood that I could do it is if I used the paperback and then added the audiobook and the ebook as variants to that one because it's already linked. And then someone on the site said, don't do that because it'll mess up on Anne-Marie's Building a Book Empire. They said, don't do that. You'll mess up your taxes because usually audiobooks and ebooks aren't taxed and print books are. And they said, you should use King links. And then, well, Ella and I looked into the King links. It's not called that anymore. And so I'd gotten the wrong version and this new one is paid, but have you found a workaround for this or because yeah
we do have, there's this line of code that you can put into Shopify. Let me go ahead and grab that. And what you can do with this code essentially is to where if someone is looking at the, let me show you an example. So you can see right here on this bundle page, if they select between the ebook and the paperback, it shifts between the two products there.
we don't see.
Oh, I just sent it in the chat.
Oh,
and so it's shifting between the two products there. And so that's one way you could do that. I can send that code over.
so those are two separate products, right?
Yes, exactly.
And it's not using the King thing app.
No, it's actually custom coding, and I have the steps of how to set it up. I just got to go and find those. Yeah, I'll keep looking through.
Yeah.
It's in my email somewhere. I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
That's fine. I probably need to analyze it until I figure it out.
Emma, would you do something like that for audiobooks that are sold through retailers? So I've got 2 audiobooks with a publisher and I asked them if I can sell them on my store and they've just come back yesterday and said no. I'll have to just link to all the different stores. So would I do it that way? Because I can't really add them as a product. I'd have to add them as a page.
It would be, yeah, because that's essentially a link and it has to link to a different product. I wouldn't, are you talking about sending them to an external, to another person's site to get them to buy? Froze.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
We can hear you,
Okay,
but
cool.
she's frozen.
Sorry, I'm back.
You're good.
I did
You're fine.
freeze. I just turned off my video.
You're
So what
good.
was that? I
So-
can do.
Yeah, so you're sending them to another website, you're saying, for your audiobooks?
Yeah, so it would be linked to Audible and
Yeah.
Apple and all the places you can buy audiobooks instead.
I would go ahead and put that in the description of the product. So as they're scrolling down, then they can find it there.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, just an easy link there. If you, especially if you do have a lot of audiobook sales, I wouldn't put it on your main bundle page, the one that we're sending a lot of traffic to, just because we don't want them to jump from that page to a different website. But on all your single books, things like that, you could definitely put that down in the description.
I
Right.
have a lot of my like human narrated audiobooks are stuck on Audible and Apple. However, that exclusivity is for that product. So what I did is I did digitally narrated versions of those books, put them on my store, and in that description I put sample. I write, this is a digitally narrated book with a sample, and if I have produced a human, right under it I said, for a human narration, click here, and then that takes them to directly to Audible. So for those who are sensitive about the whole AI issue, I apologize to anyone who's offended by my use of AI. And so that makes audiobooks available as variants for my books, but then I still have those other books because I can't do anything about them, and I can barely market them because, you know, that's where they are and that's where they live, and they will be there forever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
So I have a question on pricing. I did increase the price of all of my single books last week. It seems to be bearing. But like I can't increase my offer bundle, but can I increase, like, I have this like mega bundle of like everything in my store. Like, can I increase that?
Yes,
Because it's not
definitely.
like so it's the only thing I can't change is the specific offer bundle price. And can I change like the compare to price, or just don't mess with any of that?
You compare
I
at price.
don't,
I mean, you
yeah,
could change it. It's the percentage off that's the only
yeah.
thing that we can't change because
Oh,
it's all in the
okay.
ads and everything.
Right.
Um,
So they just leave it be and no one's gonna
Yeah.
notice.
yeah,
But the rest of the bundles are fine since we're not running ads directly to those. Those ones are completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think, doesn't it increase the incentive, because I did the smaller, I hadn't before, I already had that big bundle out there. And then since we started running ads, I did this smaller sub bundles. For reference, I have a 17 book bundle that is 3 sort of collections. So I have 3 5-book bundles, and I left those full price. I didn't reduce them. And some people bought them. And so basically they're paying more buy a smaller bundle, but that's the price of, you know, being a chicken. Don't want to buy the big bundle, then, you know, buy the 3 little ones full price. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like the movie theater
Yes.
popcorns next to each
Yeah.
other too. It's like 3 different offers. It's like the large versus an extra large is like 50 cents difference. Like you're gonna
But
go for that.
yeah,
But
exactly.
you can wherever that middle product is, you're gonna get more sales skewed to wherever. Like if it's closer to the top, you're gonna get more sales at the top. If it's down to the bottom, you can get more sales at the bottom. You just got to figure out the best customer acquisition strategy for you.
So I do have my big bundle, like it's still working best. Like I have it just on this big call out way at the bottom of the offer page. And I'm still getting a decent amount of people getting that. And if that price is changed, that won't mess with it because it is linked directly on the offer page with the price tag and whatever. So does the pixel data pull directly like from Shopify's catalog data, or how does that work?
They pull just by scanning the site.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I change that and that the call out at the bottom, that's just not going to even mess with anything.
No, it'll be totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they're looking at like, what is this person seeing on the page? Like if they're going after an audience right now and they have an idea of who they're sending the ads to, and then the price gets jumped by $10, that completely shifts who they're sending the ads to. But that's obviously for the main product you're promoting. They're not like looking at like every single product on the site in terms of that pricing to determine. It's whatever you're really trying to sell.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I have this as like a featured product block at the bottom. Just
Oh yeah, that's totally
one
fine.
big
Yeah, no, it'll
thing.
be totally fine.
That'll be fine.
Do you
Okay.
have quite a few people buying that one still?
It's tapered off a little bit. I've noticed this last week everything shifted ebook heavy. Um, I think some of my images are pushing a lot more than videos right now.
Mhm.
Um, it hasn't been as much that people have been getting that, so I'm not sure, but I still have a decent amount of people getting that. More international right now, I think.
Oh yeah, we've seen an
Um,
increase in international this past week, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So I've got a quick question, kind of following the talk about the big book bundle stuff. So we've got our stuff set up where we've got like two that we advertise, but I had been kind of wondering before, as people sort of come back and occasionally buy the other stuff, I was like, would it be better to have just like offer it to them up front where it's like every book on the shelf, like and you can, here's this giant thing, and I mean, like, and how would you price that if you have discounted bundles? Like, I wouldn't want to really take that much more off, but I like the idea of offering this thing where I'm like, why don't you just get it all now, instead of maybe forgetting to come back. So,
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, do you just add it all together and
Yeah.
not do and then figure out what the percentage off would be. Like if you're, so because I've got 50% off on one bundle, 35 off on another. So if I just do all of the amounts, okay. And then there's no real incentive. I mean, I could maybe mark it down just the slightest bit or
Like a couple
something.
dollars more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd be all right with sending them every book on my shelf.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to put together the ultimate bundle, what we could go ahead and do is also drop that in as it's a cart upsell. So it's essentially like
Okay.
it's a way that they can, um, the word is escaping right now, but where instead of the product that they're buying, they switched out with a bigger product. Yeah,
Right,
it would
right,
really
right.
just be a cart upsell. That is the word. And so then we
Okay.
could just do, it would switch it out with that ultimate bundle that has everything on your site. And that
Well, the
way, I mean,
ultimate bundle is just like the contemporary romance
oh
bundle.
yeah,
I think that one. So we'd have to call it like
the mega
the mega
ultimate
or yeah, like I don't even
bundle.
know.
Just throwing words together.
Super fan.
I know.
Super
Super
fan
fan.
bundle.
That's a good
The
one too. Yeah.
massive bundle for it to go with all the massively hot guys in my ads.
You could call it like the mega hockey bundle or massive hockey bundle. That would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
I
it's
go with massive as a pun.
it's okay. I'll think about that and I'll talk to you more about it
Mhm.
tomorrow and like how to put it up. But yeah, I was thinking about that and I was like, maybe like even more. I like it when they buy as much as they can, like before they forget,
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy to me how many people buy this stuff and don't have any idea what they bought and come
Yeah.
and tell me that they've bought the same thing couple months apart. Sometimes they're paperbacks and they don't remember that they bought them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so I don't
That's
know.
another thing that we've been looking at in the past like 2 weeks is we've been promoting more of the ebook audio bundles and stacking those together as an initial offer and
Mm.
aiming to push it up to like that $40+ price point. Um, people
I
will
don't have I don't have audio. I mean, I'm like interested
yeah.
in what you're saying just for everybody else, but like my audio is all sold. So so I can't do that one, but I could do, we had talked briefly about about when people are buying the paperback,
Hmm.
um, doing a like immediate, like, hey, your paperbacks are on the way, but if you want to read now, here you can get your ebooks for free. But but are you talking about as an alternative to that? Because Jeremy was like, I don't like giving things away for free.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's to that exact point with the extra bundles is the point behind that really is that it's important to remember that there are so many readers out there, and the more you can get someone to purchase initially, the better off you're going to be. Like if you can have and it's all about the offer, because like we can't give 10 books for $60 for ebooks because people just won't buy that. There's better offers out there. But if you give literally every single book you have at like a 50% off discount, yeah, it feels like it kind of hurts, like, oh, I'm giving all this stuff away. But what if you're making like a $40 profit on every single new reader, and there's millions of readers out there to find.
Right.
And so it's
Well,
really
and I
just
mean,
trying to think of like how much
there's
profit can you
gotta
get?
be some analytics on
Mhm.
like what you've got for people coming back, but I wonder how long it actually takes to be
Yeah,
more accurate, right? I mean,
Shopify
because I
has
do
that.
see a fair amount
Yeah,
of like I mean I don't know what the numbers are, but oh, is that me? I'm so sorry. Wait.
no, you're good.
We
Yeah,
can't hear you. We can't
you're
hear what's
good.
going on. But I have a follow-up question
Yeah,
while she
you're good.
goes. If if when you have multiple series and
Yeah,
you're running to the big bundle to whatever, let's say I had another series, let's
yeah.
say I wrote one real fast, and then had that, isn't that where the whole Clavio interact
Oh
and
yeah,
that you would
totally.
have send it to them, and isn't that what the automation is for? Once they've
Exactly.
come, if you do have something for them, then doesn't the system go and get them for
Yes.
that?
Yes.
So yes, exactly with that. This is so if you send them to every single book on your entire store and then give them the option, or like say with the audio ebook example, because we're sending them to an ebook audiobook bundle, but then on that same page, we also have the ebook variant and the audiobook variant. So they may just buy one. And a lot of the times, I'd say probably 50% of the time that we send them to the ebook audiobook bundle, they buy just the ebook or just the audiobook. And so it's really just trying to think of how can I maximize that first purchase, or like try to maximize it as possible. And
Yeah.
if you buy other things, that's totally fine. Email, retargeting
No,
ads,
but
things like
because I
that.
think Myra was saying that she didn't have the audiobooks, and
Yes.
so in this instance, isn't like for me where I don't have another series, so I was discussing with Ella, well, shouldn't we put the audio? My Mega Ultimate is already 17 books,
Mhm.
so adding those audiobooks as it like we've only just started ads, so I think this might be a strategy for later,
Yes.
but so I was suggesting maybe we could add the paperbacks and the audio as the like upsell or wherever it is at the bottom. I see on other people's pages, well, hey, you might be interested. So that's a way of putting more in
Yes.
front of them while they're there, where to make, because I think that's what the upsell thing makes it, that they can just add those to the cart at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
And Mira
definitely.
has that on her page too, the product
Mhm.
add-on. And that's definitely something we use. This is more of like we've been using the product add-ons, and a lot of people take those. This is just a little bit different because it's like I was saying earlier, if you increase your price by $10, it's going to completely shift who you're targeting. And so this is putting you in a different auction when you have a higher price point. And really trying to just get readers to spend the most as possible initially. And there's upsells like that. There's the cart upsell, product add-ons, but you also could test just the actual offer to where it's going to target those different readers that are willing to spend more.
Yeah. And when
But
you're
that
able
would be
to,
Yeah.
another offer, because we're now doing that one. That's the offer, and it's still being tested, so we have to let that run.
Exactly.
So are you
Yeah.
saying like later on, like I'm assuming
Yes.
eventually this one sort of, I heard the other author saying it was petering out. So eventually this one may peter out, and then we'd come back with that plus the audiobook as the offer. That's what you
Mhm.
mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Oh, go ahead, Al.
Yeah, it's just something added on to the right above the add to cart button. And it's something that people can choose to click on in order to add to their order. Because the point of, keeping and running a business and scaling it is acquiring customers at a lower cost than what they're worth over
Yeah.
time. So if we can acquire them for even more initially and then get them to return again and buy, that only, widens that kind of time range, but also increases the price point of them over time.
Right,
So
but
it
what you're
increases.
saying is an upsell.
Yes, yeah, it's
Right.
technically, it's called a product add-on within the app that we use called Sell Easy. But it's essentially just an upsell right above when they are gonna buy, so that they kind of have to stop for a second and look and say, oh, maybe I
Yeah.
do want the paperback bundle as well. So
I
then they'll
get
add it
that, but I
on.
was
Yeah.
under the impression that Cameron was saying as the offer that the bundle would
Yes.
like, visually have ebooks and audiobooks on the offer. Is that
Yes.
as
That's
at a higher premium?
exactly. And yeah, and that's where like obviously everyone's situation's different. And
Mhm.
we're always looking to just slowly improve the offer the longer that we're running ads. And so whatever offer you're testing right now, I would just look to continue testing that since you just started
Mhm.
testing it. And then if you could ever think about in the future of, I think this offer would be really good and it's a better offer than what we're currently promoting, totally makes sense to launch up a new campaign going after that new offer.
And what about setting it up as a product? I've got the
Yes,
big one and I've got the three little
totally.
ones. I've got the 3 paperback ones. I have the 3
Yep.
audiobook. I could have another bundle that would be more expensive that they might
Exactly.
stumble upon.
Exactly.
And then it
Yes.
would be ready if we wanted to move over to that one later on.
Exactly.
I mean, why not? Since I don't have that much on there to tempt them, might as well give them more stuff.
Yeah, and if they
And
spend $90 the very first time, that's the best customer you can get.
because on Kickstarter, they don't bat an eye. Because
Mhm.
usually the way you set it up is that you have the ebook, you have the paperback, but the goal of the Kickstarter for those special books is the special edition.
Mhm.
And I've got people buying a special edition bundle that's like $350 without
Mhm.
batting an eye. We are not our readers. I would not pay that kind of money for a book, or a book with, and that's the thing is that the way they're structured, you have the special edition and the
Yeah.
ebook and the audiobook and this little plushy toy and here there's a bookmark and whatever, and then just the added value psychology of it, just and the fact that it's a pretty book, but basically it's the same. There's a few extras to it, obviously. So you have all those options, but the goal is to get them to take the big one. And not everyone does, but some of them do. So if it's
Exactly.
there, some of
It,
them.
it would be the same thing on the store. And so it'd be just setting up that offer, creating new ads, just like what we're currently doing, and then running it to that offer and definitely testing it out because just like what you said, people will pay. It just has to find that audience. And once you launch it with that offer, it's going to go after the audience that will actually be willing to
Yeah,
pay that.
because then it's not the same people. Right now, we're running ads to those who are willing to pay $29.99 for
Exactly.
this offer.
Yep.
I know we had that issue where I forgot to change I'm in Canada. I forgot because I lowered while we were discussing, I lowered my bundle to 40% because I thought 35 was not as good as 40%. I changed the on my product page, but I didn't go before we started running the ads. I thought I had change it on the back end in the markets down to $29.99. So the first sales I got was on the $34.99. And then midweek, I switched it, and then Ella said, "Oh no!" And now it has to relearn everything. I'm going, "Oh, learning curve here." But yeah, the things about being in Canada. But yeah, so it takes it a couple
Honestly,
of days to adjust.
Yeah.
honestly, that was best case scenario though, because you caught it early on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
they're totally fine now.
And I'd like, really, it's that pinpoint because I was surprised because basically I lowered the price.
Mhm.
They should have been buying more, but apparently that $5 difference is not the same people
Yeah.
in the algorithm search, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like as more authors are promoting or selling direct, there's obviously going to be a little bit more competition, but like there's hundreds of millions of dollars going into ads. Like it's not going to affect anything anytime soon. There would have to be like 5,000 authors that jump into direct tomorrow to affect things. But it is important to think that we want to hit customers at those different price points. And so having different offers is important. As long as it's still going towards the same types of books, it's all going to be able to optimize together. And maybe the one that you're promoting, the more expensive offer, you could have that at a little bit lower budget so that it's able to really hyper target people that have been to your site and finding new customers to be really profitable.
And at what point do you jump on the Klaviyo train?
Yeah, typically once you're making at least like 5,000 to 8,000 a month, that's when jumping on a Klaviyo is important to just make sure that we're reaching back out to those readers.
So then even if I did wait until after January to do the Kickstarter, then I would still be in that range. Well, I mean that, because that was my goal for December. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Have you set up any of the Klaviyo, the backend side of things? Nothing yet. Okay. I would recommend going through, there's some videos in the course that will walk you through how to just get the all of the essentials set up. And then once you have those, you'll be good to go. It's the add to cart, the view content, the VIP buyers, and there's a few others in there. And as long as you have those set up, you'll be set, and that'll definitely help in terms of getting people coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
So related to the different offers, like my last month, I just had, it was like 50-50 split between ebook and print orders, and I was getting a whole lot more per purchase, and now it's like, I'm barely break even now. It's very heavy on ebook. Would that be worth launching new ads directly to the paperback bundle?
Yeah, and what you could even do too, in terms of thinking about offer, and like Ella was saying about customer acquisition, you could do a paperback bundle plus you give them the ebooks for free, because that just makes the offer so much better. We'd rather just get the customer than not get them and just trying to sell them the paperback. So I would definitely try some. Do you have audiobooks for that too?
AI audio.
Okay.
So it's iffy. It's like some people like them, some don't.
Yeah, you could put those in there for free though as well. And then that way your perceived price is adding up all audios, all ebooks, all paperbacks. And that's like a 70% off, but you're still charging probably upwards of how many books in your bundle? 8?
5. I charge $125 for my main bundle.
Okay.
I'm currently setting it up through that one distribution center. And once I do that, then I could scale print, just like definitely, because they can rush print, etc. But I was wondering, because I'm looking at everything, I'm like, okay, it's just not, as the ads are kind of going up and down, it's not pulling in the same amount to work with as when I was print heavy last month. Where it's ebook heavy, my offer right now is I think $23.99 versus like the $125 for the big bundle. Now, granted, I got like 53 into it, but
That's your margin?
Yeah. Well, 53 into it, so it's like a $70
good margin
profit. Yeah.
What would it be with the distribution center?
I think I want to sell those at because it'd be unsigned, no swag. I think I was thinking 90, and I'll have I think 57 into it.
Okay, so like a 30.
It's less margin, or yeah, less profit there. And I'd have to see where the price can fall in there, but yeah, it's unsigned, no swag. And I'm hoping to eventually switch the signed ones over to signed book plates, and they do the swag. So that's the plan, but I don't have that up front just for complexities and trying it out and figuring that out.
Then I would do a $95 offer with the paperbacks once you have the distribution. Okay. Then that would give you about $40 in margin. And if you gave the ebooks and audiobooks along with that, then you're still at around about a 50% off discount. I think it would be around there. And that would, getting under a $40 cost per purchase there and just scaling that should be relatively simple.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be about another 2 to 3 weeks till I have that all set up. I got proofs on the way. But yeah, I'm looking at, okay, how can I make this greater purchase? I didn't actually know you could switch the offer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in
Yeah,
like
definitely.
in your situation too, you make a lot of videos. And so that brings your readers closer to you, and they also trust you more because they're seeing your face. And so I would try to use that to your advantage when pushing the paperbacks and these types of things, because that's really going to help them make that purchase sooner when they're seeing you a lot more as well.
Oh, okay, so like builds like the one-on-one trust.
Exactly.
I mean, I had a comment today. Someone was like, "Your authenticity," and I'm like, "I'm just making
It's
videos."
just me.
But I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I will definitely look at that.
Nice. Yeah. It's something that we've been just recently testing, but we just really want to be able to branch out because there's so much more opportunity, and people will spend, like, we see people come back and they spend like $300 on buying every single book. It's like, well, why didn't we just do that the first time if they would do it? Or maybe like the second purchase. But yeah, trying to leverage that where the product price, I mean, you can get up to $70, $100 as long as the offer's there. Everything starts with the offer.
So I can be running like what I'm running now to the ebook bundle and then running another one to the
Totally.
paperbacks.
Totally.
Nice.
Just different
Okay.
ads. Obviously the
Yeah.
ads have to fit with it, but totally.
Especially since they're the same exact books, it makes
Yeah,
it
exactly.
extremely easy. So
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we
doesn't
could
this
just,
mess up the pixel? The fact
Yeah.
that it's a higher offer?
So it will just, that campaign will specifically target people that will buy there. They
Mm-hmm.
still will, because the pixel on the overall ad account, it will still work together. But if you say, like, in that case, if you ran it to like, if you're running it to a contemporary and then you had a paranormal and you ran it to that bundle, that would mess up the pixel.
Yeah.
But as long as it's the same books, totally fine. Even like two different hockey genres, or two different, if you're in a hockey genre and you have two different series that are both
Yeah.
hockey, totally fine still.
But then, right, so you mean that like the initial ad set is focused on that price point, but a new
Yes.
ad set would be on another price point, and they would not get confused between the two.
Exactly. It would
Okay.
actually, because if you ran two and they were at the exact same price point, two separate campaigns, they, no matter what, you're going to always have a little bit of overlap between those. But if you're running them to completely different price points, your overlap, you're probably not going to have really any overlap because it's going towards two different types of
It'll be,
customers.
different people.
Exactly.
People
Yep.
buying fancy books are not ebook readers. They are not interested in ebooks at all. They want real books. They want shelf trophies. If they do read ebooks, it's because the books are shelf trophies and they've never even cracked them open for fear of, damaging them.
Exactly.
So these are different. It's a different market. So, okay, so it's really that, so it's a different set of ads. And I mean, I'm not there yet. We started a week ago, and like I got excited because I did win sale, and but I'm thinking ahead.
Yes.
And
No, of course.
yeah.
yeah. And the cool thing too about creating a bundle that will have the paperbacks and the ebooks on it is that they will get those ebooks right away. So they could start reading your books if they really wanted to, until they actually get the paperbacks in the mail as well. So that's also another factor of incentive, is that they can start reading right away.
But
Yeah.
for logistics purposes, if I did do an offer with the paperbacks, let's say I'm doing like the Superfan mega bundle, which has all the ebooks plus the audiobooks plus the paperbacks. The ebooks and audiobooks are fulfilled by BookFunnel automatically, and the paperbacks are fulfilled by BookVault automatically. Usually, if it was all in the same bundle, I would have to fulfill manually, correct? Or is that a lazy way of getting it done?
No, yeah, that's actually a really good question. With the paperbacks on top of there,
Mhm.
it should be a SKU for BookFunnel, and then I believe that Book Vault
Book
is,
Vault has their own SKU, which links to it, whereas
yeah,
Book Funnel, we make our own, so we can't. It would have to be the same one for all of them, and then have the sales page have that, but then I can't have the same one for audio and ebook. But could I bundle ebook and audiobook under a new sales, whatever they call it, trigger, to have the same like SKU as the paperback number from Book Vault?
yeah, let me see right now. I'm just adding a product in Shopify to see.
So would that work like with the Shopify bundles app thing where you, because that pulls in different products altogether versus like, because I'd
Oh.
initially set up my ebooks like that versus,
People
and
said
then I
that was
figured out
bad, but that
BookFunnel.
would work, right? That might work.
Yes.
Yeah, that should work actually.
Yes, because we are currently running a bundle that is or an offer that is ebooks and audiobooks together actually. So it is kind of put together in that sense.
That's in the same
Because
close to
that's
action.
obviously two different fulfillment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. We will.
So meanwhile, oh, go ahead.
Oh, good. I was just gonna ask, like, so if you get an ebook offer going, and that's that, and then like a paperback offer going or a big paperback bundle, I'm currently working on getting more like specialized editions, like foiled paperbacks. I'm trying to get the hardcovers. Um, at some point, do you add another one with, go targeting like the special editions and foiled paperbacks and pretty books where, the videos are all like flipping through pretty books. And then you just kind of attack it from all these different angles. Same series, similar covers.
I would,
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
special editions, recommend if that's something that you could kind of act as like a your upsell almost to the regular paperback bundle. So essentially if they were going to buy that paperback bundle and then you kind of hit them with the different offer of like you can get the special edition for this price instead. That's the way that you could kind of hit that point of it, just because that would be a much, much higher price point there. And that way too, it's still targeting the same kind of section bundle. So
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm planning to get like regular hardbacks because I just don't have them yet, but they're gonna have nice interiors, and then at some point down the road, the really, really deluxe mega, but that's gonna be expensive to get 5 of them. So that's down the road. But the foiled
You can do those
paperbacks.
print on demand. You don't have to get a print run to get those pretty editions. That's what I do for now because I don't want to deal with print runs in China, and it's too much stress for me. So I'm still doing the special editions, but as print on demand. So they do cost more per copy, but like as mentioned, these people don't care. So they just shiny book must have, and you bank on that. The prettier the book, the more they're willing to pay for it. And if it's also, smut fantasy, then you're golden. So if not, then it's still a pretty book otherwise. But you could just you get charged $20 more just because there's pointy ears on anything. But which is not what I write, but still I know. You were talking about videos because Cameron said you run videos with your face. Are your ad videos with your face? Or are they referring to like your videos on TikTok?
I take my videos on TikTok and run them as ads most of the time. So, yeah, I think about half of my videos are face videos, and the rest are like packing, like paperbacks or signing paperbacks.
And you use
And
those as your Facebook ads.
yep, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we pulled a lot of TikToks. Especially, I mean, obviously the TikTok does really well and it goes viral on itself. That's proof automatically that it had great retention, it had a great hook. So typically those will work as an ad. But there's also some where you can kind of just look through the TikTok profile and get a good idea of like, all right, this one has a good call out, it's got a good hook. This is something we could use as an ad as well.
I'm a video idiot, so I'm doing the template you gave me, and that's where I'm at. I even have trouble with that one. So for this pen name, I do face videos for my own name, but you know, I'm still in that 200 view jail, so I'm not killing it in any way. Of this TikTok is just for people to get to know me. I am not selling books there, but at least I exist and they know who I am, and you know, they apparently care. But so that's for later, I guess. But I was just curious. Can I stalk you? Would you be willing to provide
that's
your
fine.
author name?
Yeah, my TikTok is, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. That's my main TikTok account. It's currently in 200 view jail. For the last few weeks. I think it'll dip out of it soon, but it's not doing great at the moment, but it was like last month. So
well, if like any of them went viral, then that is a higher level than where I'm at. I think I had like 2 that went viral. I think one of them was accidental. And the other one was this old video where I tell people where to get free books. It's not helping my cause at all. Not even my books, just other people how to get free books, and just like random stuff I thought everybody knew, but apparently they didn't, and they get very excited about it. I was going to ask, this program is geared at romance authors. And I heard you saying, well, this program, do you have other programs geared at other clients?
No, strictly right now, it's just romance.
Okay. Because I was running, do you run ads for like products or whatever in your other? So, and is there plans of going towards other genres? And is it right now just the steamy romance? Because we know that sells, but could this be applied eventually to sweet romance?
Yeah,
well?
we're currently working with a lot of sweet romance authors too, and it works great. Yeah, we're really focusing on the romance side just because the copy and the storytelling aspect really are similar for pretty much the entire genre across the romance space. And so that's why we're focusing on just that. And then possibly in the future, yeah, definitely looking to expand other genres, but we're just looking to provide as much help to specifically romance authors right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of genres. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of genres.
Definitely.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at that mindset point where I believe that if you say I'm going to make money out of this, I believe you, and I've got a goal. I've got an ambitious, well, it's a good midway point goal, but and that should technically carry me through just everything that we're just ride that wave. But my other books are jealous, you know, and so are my other pen names. And I'm going, well, eventually when we get there, then we can split the store into, because I've got everything on the one store. But at that point, if I'm making that much money, then that pen name can get their own store, and then we can get new pixels for the other 2. But and one of them does write romance, but one of them writes fantasy, and one of them writes cozy mystery. And so those are pretty big genres as well. And if there are romance, then obviously it's the same recipe as the current one. But cozy mystery is a very big, it's a big, not as big as romance, but it is big. So maybe put that in your other programs, upcoming programs.
What's your other, you said your other pen name is contemporary?
No, I write as myself, YA fantasy and picture books. And I have another pen name that writes sweet romance and cozy mysteries.
Okay. Yeah, the sweet romance, those could definitely work as well. Yeah, in terms of just the strategy and just really replicating things, that could definitely work.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Planning the next 25 years here. Well, because I
That's a
think
good
it's
thing.
just, that's the point of making it sort of like a recipe. It's the exact same
Exactly.
one and you just replicate, you take the guesswork out of it. But I will try it on the fantasy because there is basically romance in all books.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Except like some select few. It may not even be a subplot, but it is part of the in the universal fantasies kind of part where it does show up everywhere. So
Yes. Yeah, it does. It's the being able to advertise it and then sending them to the offer. Like if we advertise a romance scene in a cozy mystery book and then they click and they realize it's cozy mystery, that's much harder to get them to convert. And
right.
so that's why using this structure and then sending them to the obviously just romance bundles is why it works so well.
And in the way it's set up, like I said, I'm still very new at this. It's often a scene with a lot of dialogue. And I write like very like short novellas. And so a lot of it, some of it is like what this series anyway, it's action packed, it's Vikings, there's death sometimes, there's action, and then it's interspaced with those, more romantic scenes.
Mhm.
So sometimes I don't have that much dialogue where the scenes, where those scenes are.
Mhm.
And does it still work? Because I think the one we're trying this week, the copy we're trying this week has less dialogue than the one last week. So I guess we'll see. But in your experience, the dialogue works better, and that's why you're suggesting it in the format, or
So it's not like it works or it doesn't work. It's how well does it work?
Mhm.
And so we've had ads with dialogue, without dialogue, every type of ad that has worked in the past. And so I would definitely try out. It's really just trying out the scene. That's really the main thing that we're testing. And like if you have dialogue or not have dialogue, it doesn't really matter as long as the story is compelling.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Mhm.
Hey, circling back to these bundle things and everything, I have a couple quick little questions. Um, so if you put together a mega bundle, like you put together, it's like the all the books bundle,
Mhm.
and then you add books to your shelf. So if you're not advertising it, like I think when you're talking about the mega bundle, like this giant one, it's just there, like if they need it, you're not advertising to it. So there's no real issue with like adding a new book to yourself and adding it in and adjusting the price, right?
Mhm.
It's like you can just be like, okay. And as far as do you see like any issues with like existing readers who are like, well, I already have this series, but I want like this other thing? Um, is that much of a thing? Or like I get like I'm always
Yeah.
surprised by the little weird questions that come through. So like trying to figure out like am I setting myself up for some kind of like serious hassle if people are going through, I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
I would just
isn't
have
the
all the
fact that you're
options.
running ads going out to new people who don't know you and therefore wouldn't have bought those other ones? And so why not give them the whole kit and caboodle?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're advertising to your known readers, which you would probably do more toward in your newsletter or social media, they already know you and they're not interested in the big bundle because they've read most of it or half of it, or then having those alternate bundles would work for them.
Well,
Smaller bundles.
actually, yeah. So like that bundle would be better. Like as far as the advertising on that Klaviyo list, you would only want to send it to people who hadn't actually purchased yet. Right.
Exactly. And using it as the car upsell for those, like what we were saying,
Right.
like for those new readers too.
Right. Right. Okay. On the art on the add to cart thing. Okay. So
Exactly.
like I took a quick look um and it's I think right now I'm if I included everything with the price that it's listed at, it's like 12% off or something for paperbacks. And like the just prices as they are in the store, including the two bundles and stuff. for the paperback stuff, and for the ebooks it would be like 36%. So like full price is like $101, and the two bundles plus the bundle that doesn't have any discount on it and everything else is like 64. So it's like, I think a 30, so ebook then I guess is 36%. But like you would want that to be higher, right? I mean, like I don't know whether 50% seems like makes sense, or if it was like does it
So,
have to be like
yeah, because our initial offer is 50% as well, right?
on the hockey one it is 50%, on the Slayer, on the ultimate one, which was only 7 books, it's 35%. So there's 22.99 and 22.95
Yeah. So if
for
you
the
were gonna
two
stack
bundles.
all of them and have that mega like super fan bundle, I would do,
Uh,
instead of 50%, I would do 60%. Say if you upgrade, you're gonna get all of these books for 60% off instead of 50% off for the Slayers.
60%
Yeah.
off.
Well, because
I'm
again, these
like,
are
that was like
new.
not the direction I was heading in. I was like 40%.
Well, because
Like,
if you saw a
yeah,
product that was cheaper and it was 50% off, it was a better deal, and you got upsold onto a bigger offer that was less percent off, it's less compelling than if it was
right.
more.
Oh no, right. Well, okay, yeah.
Can't
Mhm.
you
Maybe it's like the
increase the
variance
individual book
because,
prices?
well, because some of them are not, yeah, some of them are not marked down at all. Like
Mhm.
the back to you books are not discounted. You get them like 10% off when you do the uh upsell thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So I have a little basic math there. As and when we were talking initially about the paperbacks with the ebook bundle as like the free incentive, that's where my I don't know what I did, but I touched my headphones and suddenly like the music from my ads started playing. And I was like, where is the money? So I missed everything that was being said about that. But are you thinking how do you see that on the store? Like, are you thinking like um they go to the ebook listing, it has the option for the paperback. If they click on the paperback, then like, hey, you get both of these, or is there something on like the description that says like, you know, by the like, is there something that would indicate that they could get the paperback bundle with the ebook bundle
Yeah, that
for
would
the
be on the
same price?
image.
Oh, on the image. Okay.
Mhm.
And where do you see that like, or how do you see that playing out with like the people that have been buying the bundle, the ebook bundle itself for the last, 4 months or whatever it is? Like,
Mhm.
do you think that it would be like
Yeah. So like this
insulting to
one,
them if they came back and were like, you know,
no, because I mean, if you think about wherever you buy from too, people are changing their offers all the time. And
okay.
yeah, people aren't like going to your site every day to see. Um, yeah, I wouldn't worry about something like that. Like if you see this one, I just sent this in the chat. This is an example of the ebook plus audiobook bundle. And so we're
Oh
running it
yeah.
to this one here. We just
Nice.
shifted our ads over to here, and we're averaging around a $12 cost per result. And about 50% of people are still just buying the ebooks, but 50% are buying the ebook plus audio at the $47 price point.
If only I had the audio to
Well, you got other
sell.
ebooks. You have other ebooks that we could definitely bundle together too, like different
Yeah.
series, things like that.
And you could
It's
get
all
the
about the
digital
offer.
audio books.
Yeah.
Those are super fast to get.
Digital audio. Oh no, mine are I like I have I've sold the rights on them, so I don't own the audio for it anymore.
No, but
So
get, you could still make a version. You can't use those narrated, but you can produce, you could have 3 different audiobooks narrated by 3 different people and sell whichever is not exclusive, which means if you have a digitally narrated book that you make from your own book and sell that, it's yours to sell, even though you have those books being exclusive. Unless you sold the rights to ever produce audiobooks, well, you sold the rights to those audiobooks. Maybe look at your contract. I doubt
No,
you.
I'm pretty sure like that I would be in like major violation if I tried to make a copy of them. I'll double check
No,
it.
no,
But
not make
like
a
they're,
copy. Make a
yeah,
new
no,
version.
Yeah, but
I
I think
know,
most
but
contracts do.
it's like
It's
it's
like they
because
buy the license. Yeah.
yeah, they bought the audio rights.
Mm.
Okay,
So
Interesting.
you can't.
yeah, I know. I was like, I don't think so. Which that would because that would be so great. I see everybody doing it, but that's probably just like I'm already like a little overwhelmed. Can't even imagine adding the audio into it. Um, okay, so not a big deal to add the free thing. That means that I can cut Jeremy and the Klaviyo piece out of it with like trying to hit a segment and everything. And it's something where we could just look at maybe adjusting what we're offering.
Mhm.
And I did ask about the one series that I would love to be able to get the rights back on. I did ask my agent um to see what it would take to actually get those back because I mean if we could sell them like we're selling the other stuff, it could be worth it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm crossing my fingers that I'll hear something good on that because the store is so great.
Yeah, I would just say that for right now, we just get that cart upsell added. That's going to be the
Yeah,
main
I like
thing,
it.
and just go from there.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll put it on the little list for tomorrow.
cool.
Is that still
My
that Cactus app, or is that something else that does a cart upsell?
That would be through Sell Easy.
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Mhm.
I did actually. I have frequently bought togethers that were through the frequently bought together app, like the separate app, and then I'd had it switched over to Sell Easy,
Mhm.
and I think it wasn't quite working as well because it just looked kind of funky with my theme. So I turned that off and turned it back, and it seems to actually be working better
I would use that one
with
then.
the other frequently bought together. It
Mhm.
just I don't know the way because I have a dark theme and
Mm.
it just I was trying to go in and mess with the CSS, but I couldn't quite get it right. And I'm just like, I'm not sure. So I switched it back over and actually had some larger upsells through that. So I guess you use what works.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. It does look a lot better than what we used with Sell Easy because it was making the margins look weird. So I'm glad you switched it back over.
Okay, good. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope I'm not messing anything up here, but I actually think it's working better.
Yeah, whatever works the best, stick with that. That's what we general rules. Cool. You have any other questions?
Just if we're looking at this, I'm sorry, I'm pointing the graphic that you just shared
Mhm.
from Jay Sterling books. Do you want me to make a graphic that would look like that, or do you want to talk about it more before we do
Yeah,
something like
if you want to get started on making a graphic for all like a mega super fan bundle, that would be
that?
great.
Do we call it the super fan bundle? Or okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And like okay.
I
All
don't see a
right.
problem behind that.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can put something together then. Cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So should I have a bundle with like everything in the store? Like I have everything ebooks and then like everything that I have in audio and then everything I have in paper? Because I am finding a lot of people cross buying
Can't
like that
hurt.
wouldn't just put it out
Yeah.
on there somewhere, not part of like an offer or anything, just on there.
Yeah,
I think it would work because when we do the Kickstarters, you put your add-ons and most people put their entire backlist. And I've seen people buy every single of my backlist added on to like a $150 bundle. I'm going, thank you. And then I only put the ebooks there because I just can't be bothered with the dealing with having the paperback and the shipping and everything. But it's like, oh, well, thank you. You're gonna read all this? When are you gonna read this? And but if they don't read it, who cares? They paid for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, people, I think people are not lazy, but they like, that's what you were saying. You've got the client here. Give them all you got. I mean, whatever they land on, they'll get, and they'll be happy. And you guys seem to have a lot of books, so they might come back and get more stuff. But if they buy the everything, then they won't necessarily be back. But I don't know.
That's your
Come up
LTV
with
though.
you can come up with some kind of holiday offer later
Yeah.
and more stuff or more books or.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're promoting a $25 product, let's say, your LTV over a 6-month period may be like $35 eventually. But if you could just get them in on the 175, that's the most valuable customer you got. And that's the more that Facebook sees those types of people, the better off you're going to be in terms of targeting.
Mhm.
So this is maybe a weird question or idea. So you're not alone with your crazy ideas. Let's say someone didn't have many books, someone like me perhaps, and I didn't plan on putting any more. Would a collaboration with another author be an option to have each other's offer on each other's website or a link, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that could get pretty difficult in terms of understanding profits because one person's going to be spending the money and the other person's going to be advertising it. If you could, if it did make sense and it was in the exact same genre, you could do something to where it was 2 series. And maybe if you're both promoting on your own sites and you just keep your own profit, depending on how well your own ads do, because then yes, you're really just boosting up the offer, which is going to get more people to convert.
I don't have that, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
that could be an idea for someone else. But,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it could definitely work. That whole we've seen that with co-written books too on Amazon, and it's kind of tough just because you have to like the other person did write it, and so then you got to split the ad spend, split the profit, and then there's smaller margin. But if you could both just swap and say, hey, I'm going to promote this as an add-on, you can promote mine as an add-on, and it makes
Yeah, that's
sense,
what I
it's
meant.
fair.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think now there's also a trend on TikTok where some people are selling other people's books.
Mhm.
I don't know how they're setting that up in the back end, but
That should just be through book funnel. They should just be able to upload it onto their book funnel as another book and then another delivery action. Because it is just very important because there's infinite offers that you
no, these
technically
are for
can.
paperbacks.
Oh, for paperbacks. Okay.
Yeah, because if it's so I don't know, I didn't look into it and there wasn't an easy link to go stock it, but
Yeah.
I forget who is doing that, but someone has a big TikTok with a lot of following and followers and whatnot. And so they're basically promoting other people's books,
Mhm.
but not in a just, oh, look, I read this book, saying, oh, buy these books, and I have them on my shop. So I don't know how that works for the compensation for the author, but apparently they're killing it. So I'm wondering how that works.
Yeah. I mean,
So
the,
that actually might be influencers just marketing them and
yeah.
saying, go grab it. You can do something in TikTok shop where an influencer can promote and tag your product from your shop and just promote your product. So that's probably what you saw
Mhm.
on the back end was just like an influencer or creator promoting a book for an author.
But then how do they get paid?
They get a
So
percentage.
yeah, they get a percentage and
So they have an agreement.
Mhm.
And then so I don't know, I'm thinking, I'm worrying about analytics and whatnot, but because I saw on Linktree that now they have that shop and it's not linking to your Shopify, it's just adding a product on the shop button. And so I put my own there, obviously, but I was thinking, wouldn't it be easy to just put someone else's book there? But then that becomes sort of like buy on my shop but then I don't know, how do they get paid?
Yeah,
And
they would
wh-
just have an agreement with the author, whoever's stuff that they're promoting, whoever's products, and they can do it that way, and they have special links that you can use in order for them to get a percentage of those sales.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just always try to think, because there is infinite offers that you really can create. Like you could put so many different things together. Um, but it's not like, it's not if the offer will work or if it'll not work, it's how well it will work. And so I would always just try to, from the initial, like figure out a really good offer. And then once you have that, really just sticking with it. Because you could always think like, oh, I can make it like 3% better, something a little bit better. But like once you have one offer, I would just try to stick with that and just advertise that. Because it can get overwhelming to think like, oh, I can put this together, I can put that together, I can put this together. But if you just have that initial offer and stick with that for like 3 to 6 months, it will scale.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it's seeing other people doing other things and other strategies. They're probably doing really well with those strategies because they're just focusing on those strategies, like just that one. And so that's essentially what we're doing with running Facebook ads to it, is just sticking with that and just sticking with the best offer, just running it to that and just optimizing from there.
Oh yeah, my brain just cannot stop. It just
Yeah.
needs to go everywhere. I mean, I'm following the recipe and saying, yes, ma'am, all the way until I see the money in my bank account. And
There you
then
go.
I will want to duplicate, not with more offers for that one, just for the exact same thing, but for the other pen name
Yep.
and then for the other one.
Exactly.
And then, why not? Because like, once you're making money, why can't you just make more? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the structure, just following the system.
Yeah.
Cool. Y'all have any other questions? Cool. Awesome. Cool. I'm going to wrap this one up. Go ahead and drop this in the folder. And yeah, cool. Awesome. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one calls.
Thanks,
Thanks, Cameron.
so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.